Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always thank you for the support. So I know I did say that I was going to come back with delightful robins, but I've decided instead it's still going to be robins, but I'm going to come back with the Deluxe craft pad. So this is brand new this year for Christmas, so I'm pretty sure it's still in stock. So, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You get 4 sheets of the topper sheets, you get 4 sheets of foiled cardstock to match, and then 4 sheets of printed cardstock to match, and then you've got 8 card inserts as well in there, all tied up in one pad. I have taken the pages out of the ones that I am going to use first of all, so let's pop that to the side and then let's get started. So I'm going to bring in a piece of card that I've already cut to the 6 by 12, and the first card I'm going to do is going to be a simple foldback card. So I'm going to score at 6 inches to make my half fold, and then at 3 inches so that we can fold that back. Okay, and just a little update, I know I did tell you last time about the cardstock that I got from Paper Cuts, the 12 by 12, and some of it was damaged, and I did email them straight away, showed them the photos of it, and I got replacement ones in the post today. So not only is it a great price, but it's absolutely amazing customer service from them as well, and they sent me extra because I only asked for 18, so they sent me 20, which is amazing. So Paper Cuts, big thumbs up from me. Okay, so here we've got our sort of card base, so that's how it will sit on a shelf. So I'm going to bring in a corner rounder. This is full of bits. This is I think it's an cross cut one, but Hunkydory do them as well. As you can see, bits keep falling out of it, and I'm just going to go around all of these corners just for a slightly different look. I'm hoping it's going to go through those 2 layers. Yes, just about. If you haven't got a sort of heavy duty punch, then I probably wouldn't attempt this. And I'm just going to do those on there, so I'm going to leave those ones there. They're going to be fine. Okay, I'm not decorating them. I may come back later on and chop them off, but for the moment, for the time being, we're going to leave that as is. So let's bring in the trimmer and the foiling on this kit. So this is the page that I'm going to be using, which is the When Robins Appear. It's got your cute little house, sort of bird house. You've got your boot. You've got a lovely When Robins Appear, Loved Ones Are Near, with some sort of snowdrops and rose hips, I think those are called. You've got a beautiful sort of medallion style here, and then you've got your 2 tags and 3 different sentiments. So it's gold foiling, so I'm going to come in with some gold, and I need a piece for the back and I need a piece for the front. So for the back, I'm going to go my usual 2 notches under the 6 and 2 notches under the 6. That should be fine on there. Yep, I'm happy with that. And then this next piece, we're going to go, just check what that is, that's 2 notches. And it's a little bit under 2 notches, so I'm just going to cut this down. So I just really want it all to be the same. We can keep these bits for die cutting sentiments out of and things. But I'm going to go 2 notches under the 6 and 2 notches under the 3, and we'll just check that fits quite nicely, and it does. And then the backing sheet that I'm going to be using is the boot one. So I'm going to start on this side with the boot. It is going to be pretty much hidden behind here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. just wondering now whether, no, because I'm going to do it as I sort of thought of it. So 4 notches under the 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 6. So I do lose that lovely border. If I wanted to, I could cut it and then sort of cut along here and piece it back in, but I'm not going to. I may use the border, or I may just cut a little bit of a green border, but we'll see how that goes later on. And then we need another piece, which is going to be 4 notches under the 3. So we've got a nice decent sized piece there for another card. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 6. And that should fit onto that panel. Yeah, okay. So let's pop those out of the way for a moment. We'll bring our corner rounder back in, and I'm just going to whip round and round the corners on there. I'm going to keep those square at that side because I haven't rounded them in there, so we'll just keep that as it is. Again on here the same, and then we need to do all 4 on here. Like I say, Hunkydory have a corner rounder as well. I have got Hunkydory corner rounders, but I just like this one is a bit of a larger circle, so that's why I just decided to go. It's got a larger sort of roundedness to it, so that's why I decided to go with that one today. Just check that looks a little bit squarer than it should do. The back. Okay, so let's start to do some assembling. So I'm going to be using my Cloud all-purpose glue, which has been decanted into these smaller pots. The Cloud all-purpose glue that I got last time was from Crafter's Companion. Normally they do, I think, is about 100 milliliter or gram bottle. I think 100 milliliters, I think it is. But these bottles that I got last time are a lot bigger. They were 250, and they were just a little bit hard for my hands to deal with. So I do have some issues with my hands. But this bottle, it does seem to dispense this glue in a lovely fine format. So it does mean I don't have to worry so much about going so close, because you will hear me say, it's probably about 1,000,000 times, yeah, corner could have been a bit rounder, that the all-purpose glue, it can take the shine off your mirror card because it's got alcohol in it. It's that type of glue. So but with this dispenser, which came from AliExpress, and I think it was a pack of 5, pretty sure it was 5, so either 5 or 6, and they weren't expensive, a couple of quid, but it delivers the glue quite fine, so I can get quite close to the edge, closer than I could before, because I'm not worrying so much about it spilling out and then being wiped onto the memory card. So, oops, make sure we put that on the right way. But we'll put it upside down then. But then the picture's the right way up, so. So that's where we're at the moment. So we've got our little picture hiding behind, and our snowfall looks quite nice and blank and plain at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the big green framed topper, which is the boot. I think you could have either in both. They do look like you could swap out the house for the boot if you wanted to. But I think this has got more green, it matches in, so I think that's going to go better with my little project card today. So I'm just popping those out, just checking those pips. So sometimes, because the way the card is held together, sometimes the pips can be a little bit proud. So you've got a couple of options. You can either just go in with the blade of your scissors. I kind of find if you go in with your nail and just sort of smooth it back, it's usually enough just to take that edge off. Okay, so my plan is to pop that one into there, and then we'll get ourselves a sentiment, maybe one of the circular ones, a couple of gems, might even go for some glitters. I'm not quite sure at this stage, but we will see. Okay, so I'm going to start with some Hunkydory foam pads. These are probably about 1mm, I think, not too high. I'm just going to cut those down a little bit narrower so that they fit on my frame. And because my frame is only coming away halfway, I just need to make sure I just put foam pads on here so that they're not seen on the other side. So we're going to go halfway to there. So let's just go ahead and peel these off. So I do want to put quite a few on there just for a good amount of support, because obviously there's not going to be anything holding it onto the card on that side. So if we can support the card that way, it will be perfect. There we go. Just got one left on there. Okay, and I will put some tacky glue on there just to give me a little bit of wiggle time, and it's just a bit of added security with the glue as well. So just popping that on just up to there, and we're going to bring our card down. Looking to sort of line that up on the edge of there, like so. And then this one we're going to come up higher again. So for these I'm going to use Crafter's Companion ones, I think. We'll just grab a new packet. Ideally I want the sort of smallish ones. Those are quite big. Those are strips. I think those might be it. Let's put those back. Okay, so I'm going to put this the right way up, and we need to make sure we're putting it on this side. So again on here, and again I can go to around about halfway. And again I'm going to put quite a few on for support. I might just cut that one in half. Fine, I think. And I do cut mine down quite a lot, and that's pure laziness. I have got, well, as you've seen, the packs that I buy do have multiple sizes in. And I could go and find a smaller size in the same pad, but just for quickness I do sort of cut them down as I'm going. Nothing gets wasted, they all get used. So we're just going to pop this on back into place, and hopefully perfect, you can't see anything on the back there. Okay, so on here we have got some different sentiments. So I've got a green Season's Greetings, which I kind of think would probably be the best one, but it's just whether that's going to fit in nicely there. Let's have a little look. Oops, not my glue over. will be okay. Let me just try all of my love with this red. Oops, another glue. Yeah, I kind of like the red one a little better, and then I can do some red gems on the other ones. So I think that is what I will do. So I'm going to bring that out of the way. We will use these Crafter's Companion ones on there. Just pop those on. And I'll put that one up the top. And then I've got these red gems, what are pearls. I have got Hunkydory ones, but I kind of thought I would go with these. I'm just going to sprinkle a few out, and we can decide where and how we want those to go. I'm kind of thinking not going too big. Let's see, I think that one's the same size as those. Maybe a smaller one. That's too small. There's a ball in there as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's just pop those back in. Don't know what I've done with my green tray. I suspect it's gone right at the back of the drawer. It's a bit of a pain, but. And these are the gems. They came in a pack from AliExpress. I think there's supposed to be 3,800 gems in the pack, and I think I paid something around about £2, might have been nearly £3, and you get a range of sizes in there. I think there's about 5 different sizes of actual gem, and these have got a red and a sort of really pale pastel blue, icy blue. And there's also like diamonds and things in there. I think they are meant for nail art, but I can't see how anybody, I mean maybe it's just me, let's just grab that one, there's a white one, but that would like fill your nail. I can't see how that would fit flat, but there you go, that's just me. So that's there, and let's pop these on. So just move those out of the way a second. There we go. Just popping those in a nice line. And a little bit of glue there and there. Quite enough glue on that one. No, stay still. And there. So that's what we're at. If you wanted to put an insert in, because we've kind of kept that straight in that corner, you could do a sort of piece, cut it sort of, I would say maybe 2 notches under the 6 square, fold it in half round the corners, and then just pop it in there, which is actually what I will do, but I'm not going to do that on video. And then lastly, just to finish, if I grab my scissors, I've got a nice piece of red grosgrain ribbon here. I'm just going to tie a sort of medium-sized bow. If you've got the bow maker, it makes tying bows a lot easier. I have got one. It's just in the drawer beside me. But if I've got a decent sized piece of ribbon, I'm lucky in that I can just go ahead and tie a ribbon by hand. So then I was thinking there, but I think actually I'm going to go straight over the top, and then that's going to tie those all together. So I'm going to grab a piece of 3D glue gel, just a tiny bit out of the top. Normally I have this in a syringe, but I'm just going to pop a bit onto the back of this bow. And if you've got a glue dot, something like that, you can use that. I find they tend to come unstuck in my house, but maybe because we run a little warmer here. But that is that card finished. If you wanted to next level that, you could add glitter, either by using a quickie glue pen and some glamour dust type, fine glitter, or you could use some stickles and just add it on there, or even onto the background there. But that is our first card finished. So I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for the second one, again I've got another piece which is 6 by 12, and I kind of thought this sort of shape lends itself quite nicely to the sort of card where the fold is not central. So I thought I would go ahead and do another one of those. So this is going to be scoring first of all at 4, and then turning around and scoring at 2. I only do that because I've got the small board. If you've got the bigger board, you could go ahead and just score at 2 inches from the end. So it would be 4 and 10. Okay, so let's pop that out the way, and we're going to bring that across, just give it a really good burnish down, and again on here. So we've got a 4-inch panel on the front, we've got a 2-inch, and then we've got the inside to decorate as well. So let's bring in the trimmer, and I thought I would try some Diamond Sparkles red glitter card. I just thought it'd be a little bit different to having them all in gold. Just pop that out of the way. So my first panel is going, actually if I cut it this way to 2 notches under the 6, because we know essentially our card is 6 by 6, it's just that the folds are in a different place. So my first one is going to be 2 notches under the 4, and that should fit quite nicely onto there. And then I want one for the inside, which is going to be 2 notches under the 6. So that is going to go on the inside like so. And then I think that piece is going to be too small. Let's have a look. So we want it to be 2 notches under the 2. I think it might be just spot on, you know. Let's have a look. I'm just going to take a tiny bit off there. Just that those border, that white border round on both sides looks quite even, so that's quite nice. So we've still got a decent piece there. Sentiments, could be another card, loads of things we can do with that. So this is the foiled cardstock for this image in the book. So we need a piece which is going to be 4 notches under the 4 by 4 notches under the 6, and that should go quite nicely on the front. I've got to take that a little bit off, so let's just take another little side eyelash off there. And we've got that nice border all the way around. And then we want another piece which is 4 notches under the 2. And 4 notches under the 6. And that one fits on there quite nicely. It's quite a thin border on that red, but that's fine. It's still got a lovely big piece there for another card. So I'm going to have to grab the book and grab the insert. So because we've got that picture on there, I could cut that and put it on the inside, but I just kind of think it's a bit wasteful. I could use that on another card. So the actual insert itself is, well, all of the inserts are stunning. So let's just grab one of those. So we've got this beautiful one with our little house on. Now I'm going to have to bring in my old trimmer, so I always apologise about it, but it's the only thing that cuts these inserts without tearing them nicely for me. So just going to cut that at 4 notches under the 6 and 4 notches under the 6. So I always say that's my old trimmer. I had it yonked. Oh, it must be a good 10 years, and you can see I do, or I have in the past, abused it, which is why I don't use it on the videos very often. Okay, so let's do some assembling. So again, with my all-purpose glue, we are going to pop, oh, let's put some tacky glue on the corners just to make sure they stick down. And normally I would say if you want to, you can gut this down, and you certainly can, but I think with using the insert, you may well see a change of colour behind it because it's a paper. So I probably wouldn't recommend it if you are using the insert. If you are going to go ahead and use the card, then it probably wouldn't be a problem. You could go ahead and gut that without any problems, but if you're using the insert like I am, then it's probably best just to leave that intact. And just in case you don't know what gutting is, it's just when you cut the center of your card out so that the bits that are not seen. So let's say, for example, if I cut a square out of there, or a rectangle out of there, and then just kept about a centimetre border all the way around, all you would see would be the red anyway. So you could then use that card on another card, or for the sentiment, or you know, whatever you wanted to do with it really. I have done videos where I have sort of cut out the centre to show you, but I have to be honest, I don't gut things a lot unless it's something, if I'm in love with a cardstock, which does happen. It's you know, sometimes you just fall in love with a thing, and you don't want to waste it. But it is a good habit to get into, because obviously the further you can make your card go, the better. So just popping that onto there. And if you wanted to go in, let's move a little bit, go in with a a wood grain embossing folder, that would make that look quite nice. So I'm not quite happy with that border, it's a little narrow, but what I've done is I've made sure it's sort of better on this side, because this side is going to be covered up by a lot of that topper anyway, so it will be less noticeable once the card is made. And I think the most important thing to say, apart from the thing with the mirror card and your sort of special finishes with this glue, is give it a good press down so it does sort of spread out and make good connectivity, and then you should not have any problems with it. I love this glue. It is my favourite glue, which is why you do see me using it an awful lot. Okay, so that's where we're up to at the moment. Okay, so let's grab these toppers again. We've got our beautiful little house. I'm just going to go around and pop that out gently. We have got that green on sentiment. I'm going to do that. That's there. We'll look at that. Also got a tag. Alright, we'll do the actual assembling on this, and then we will decide how we want the sentiment to go. Okay, so got a pip there. So like I said before, sometimes if the pips are a little proud and it's not working to just go in with your nail, just go in with the tip of your scissors just to take the bulk of it out. So like this here, that's more than could be squashed down. Just taking that off. The other thing you can use is a nail file. So on this one we've got an extra frame, and I think I might skip a frame on this one. Let's have a little look, see how they look. I'm thinking I'm coming over to the side. Now, do I want that gold one in or do I not? Let's check that around that up. I'm going to leave it out, so I'm just going to do the two. Okay. So again for this one, I'm pretty much going up to the middle. So on this one, on this layer, I'm going to go quite high and glue on this side, and then this one I'm going to go a little lower and glue on that side, so that they have to interlock to each other. Okay, so let's start with this one, and I'll go with these Crafters Companion ones. So to chop these down a little bit and just go up, scissors. There we go. Don't think that one's going to be seen. I'll just snip it off just in case. So again, putting plenty of support on, because half of it isn't going to be stuck to anything, because we still want that card to open. Oops. Probably one more at the top if we can. Something just in that corners, just a bit. You can see there, yeah. Okay, so let's pop these backs off. don't know, is there many of you out there that have got this book? I know it was sort of launched a while ago. By the time I've done a couple of videos on something, it's sort of time passes by so quickly. I mean, I didn't even realise that the Delightful Birds had gone out of stock because I got them when they did launch. That's the sort of concept tea decoupage kit. Again, robins again. Very beautiful. So I'm glad I didn't have time to do it before now, really. Alright, so I'm going to come over there. I think we should be good for hiding those. And then this one, so I just want some pads up to, well, really just over this piece here. So let's go straight down there. Just going to check that that's going to sit okay. That should be fine. And like I say, I'm putting quite a few on because on this side there's even less to hold it into place. I'm going to turn it around. I know it's upside down, so I know my picture needs to be upside down, but I just want to make sure I get that in the center. Look, that should be fine. And then that opens like so. Okay, looking good so far. So let's see about sentiments. So like I say, we have got this green one which would really stand out. We have a Home for Christmas, which was the one that I initially thought I would use because I thought, you know, this is what we've got here, haven't we? We've got a little Christmas home. We wish you a Merry Christmas. No, I don't think I'm going to go with that one. I think I am going to stick with my Home for Christmas. It's just going to be a case of where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it in that corner. I'm going to go with, where's that little lonely foam pad? So let's just cut that down a bit. Hopefully that should fit on there quite nicely. Yes. And again, a little bit tacky glue. Just hold it down flat, so bit on. And then we need to decide on some gems. So we've got the red ones again. I kind of think maybe some green ones. So I've got those Hunkydory ones, or we have got the red ones, or I've got those ones which are sort of different sizes. These ones. Again, I think these are Hunkydory. Let's put that out of the way. Okay, so let's decide on how we want these to go. So I'm kind of thinking 1, 2 there, and then something here, or maybe bringing it across here. So let's go. Okay, so I've got an idea. So I'm going to pop. Again, these are self-adhesive, but I always still do just pop a little bit of tacky glue down. Again, gives you a bit of wiggle room and a bit of longevity. my favourite word. Okay, and I'm going to go with another big one there. And what I was thinking is to tie it in is to bring this onto here, onto this foiling. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue there, and there. And then I'm going to take these teeny tiny ones, put these on. And the reason why I'm not using my other pickup tool, this one, is because these already have a bit of self-adhesive on, so it won't be able to pick them up easily unless the back's fallen off them, the stickiness fallen off them. So it's going to be a case of either some tweezers, a blade, you know, a pen knife, a knife of some sort, or your Hunkydory tool. So again, just matching this at the top one, two, and three. There we go. So picking up on that green, really bringing that in. And then we've got, just wondering whether to put a bit of ribbon on. But if I put ribbon on, it would be green. I suppose I could bring it in and tie it over here. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let me see if I've got a nice green to do that. Okay, so I literally turned around and on my desk was this bow already made. So it's in the perfect green. So just going to try and make it a little bit smaller. That's nice. And then just trimming that up. And then again, I want a little bit of 3D glue gel. Just going to take a little piece of the gel, pop it onto the back. I'm going to put that there in the corner, like so. Okay, so I don't know where that bow's come from, but I'm hoping I wasn't saving it for something. But that is our finished card. Just being careful not to move the gems. If you wanted to, you could possibly go in with green glitter and maybe do red gems and a red bow. You know, it's tomato, isn't it really? But you've got choices there. So those are the 2 cards that we've made today with this kit. Now we have got loads left over still on this page. We've still got this lovely great big topper here, this sort of one here, these 2 tags. I've got still got an insert I haven't used yet, but I will be putting some in there. We've got this piece, I've got that piece, I've got the other sentiment. You know, there are still pieces here, so probably we'll go ahead and make some more of those little cards, just to use those up. I think that's probably going to be the best way to go. Oh, and I've got a frame as well. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. As always, a huge thank you for you guys for watching and supporting me. Next time I'm going to come back again with this book, use another page in here, and see what we can do. There's some lovely round toppers in there, so it would be nice to have a little play with a round topper. I feel like I haven't used a round one for a while, so that may be a plan. I've also got a wedding card that I need to make as well, so I need to do that. I'll probably do that on video as well, but that might be a sort of white on white one. I haven't done any die cutting cards for quite some time. It's been pretty much my own little Hunkydory channel lately. It's not the way, it's just the way it's worked out, to be fair. And they've just had more things that I've wanted to play with, so you know, I'm going to play with what makes me happy. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Happy crafting. Bye.